Previously on the Great Ace Attorney. All right then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garradeb's house? I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you see. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. The book is evidence, you twit. Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. And we are up against a wall again, but I think I have a way out of this time. I have considered the defense counsel's request for a further summation examination of the jury. And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman. Well, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. Judicial findings. The juror's contentions. The accused left evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Yeah, even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed down, can it? Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening even with a direct hit. Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tidy bit of trouble. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. Give me Jesus. Okay. Yes. Considerably more tangible arguments from all the members of the jury this time around, it seems. Except for juror number 6, who would make absolutely no sense whatsoever. With one notable exception, of course. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way. That means, I'm afraid, that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts. But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here? Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted. And there I was thinking this might be hard. But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends. No pressure then. That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you are prepared, counsel? Yes, my lord. All right, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now. Clearly, the key to this submission examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say Mrs. Garradeb? We have a book that disappeared from the Garradeb's house on the evening of the incident, and the 4th book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the 2. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far. Whatever it takes. Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Scaredeb and how she reacts, even to the things other people say. Oh, really? So I might have to pursue during a jury examination? The defense's rebuttal. Accused left evidence behind at the scene, right, didn't he? Those 3 books of his.
Hold it!
But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's every possibility that the 4th book in fact belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the part I have a problem with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, as you said. That's not exactly how he put it, no. Anyway, point is, the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. I think that's what you call a strong alibi. So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it. It only leaves the Nipponese fella. Honestly, can't see what all this palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it? I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say. If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Hold it!
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean? Oh my, such delight on your face. But I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I am a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman. Oh, that's great. If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? The what? You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking would just say, what? And not at all extreme. As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by an overwhelmingly strong testimony. So, despite 1 or 2 minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say? Overwhelmingly. But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace the new fads, you know. So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one. I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could. Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady. Right. Glad you admitted rational there. Now, even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it?
Hold it!
But what about the possibility that the window was open? And what about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. How can you be so sure? Prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London, no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Plus London is like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see. But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wouldn't. They wouldn't have opened it. Then what's the point in even having windows, eh? Postal, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering. Oh, sorry. Somehow I need to show there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open. Because this young man isn't going to budge otherwise. Dear me, it was only a little book. Hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not? With flames of love above, you know. There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Well, he put it upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree? Well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Scaredeb. Never you mind that. The point is, we were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more. I won't have any more of those suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime. Right, well, we'll see about that. What about juror number 5? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Scaredeb's relentless onslaughts. It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is. Interesting.
Look, I just want to get this over with. I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble.
Hold it!
You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here.
Well, him and me both there, like I said before.
What?
Told you already. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some reddies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning.
What?
You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She'll be fast, believe you me.
Another shining example of marital bliss, then.
Situation like this cropped up the other day. You know, it's funny. I can't quite remember.
Sorry.
Oh, it's too frightening, that's the thing. Must have blocked it out.
Helpful. I wonder if Mr. Pete will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf. Don't even go there, Mrs. Otto. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. Maybe it sneezes.
Hold it!
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case? Sorry? What's that? You have to speak up, lad. Could you tell us more about that fire? It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on top, it did. Oh, what a sight behold it was. You put candles on a cake? Was it some kind of devil worship? No, of course not. It's an angel cake. To celebrate my birthday, obviously. It seems there's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow them out. I must have blown wrong somehow. Flames didn't go out, but candles went flying all over the room. Furniture called and everything went up. Whole place is filled with smoke. Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire? A fiasco it was. Grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows, clear it. There it is. The windows. A biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I caught a terrible cold from it. Put me in a hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. Interesting. I knew it was devil worship all along. Something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason. Yep. We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Nesame, could have attacked the young woman on the street, as well as how he or she could have done it. Yes, but once again, the jurors' statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary. I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation. Yes. Don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions. Just a connection might do the trick. All right, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike. That's the spirit. All right. Now, who was talking about not opening the window? Was it, oh yeah, it was the young guy. There he is. Yeah.
All right, let's try pitting him against him.
Objection!
These two juror statements clearly contradict one another.
I do. How exactly, counsel?
Don't point at me again. I told you it wasn't me. Huh? What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up. Juror number 3. Do you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh. Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadeb household. And Mr. Garadeb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke.
Oh, my.
Don't my hat! All right, pursuit, right?
Excuse me.
Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that?
Mrs. Garadeb!
Don't dare me! What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is it? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? I beg your pardon. What are you insinuating? The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window. And what if we did? Really? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy, since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering. Even though your house was on fire? Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise. Of course. I should have realized. That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garadeb's formal statement. Yep. Oh, you mentioned it, yes. The window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true.
Hold it!
Like my ass, you forgot. The 4th book found at the scene of the crimes shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadeb told us he had been reading. Well, I really couldn't say. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading? I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Because I could have you insolent little man, I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on as well, you know. I really don't. I am not a psychopath. I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it. There it is.
Excuse me.
What is it, juror number 5?
You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory I blocked out.
Huh.
It was listening to what this grinder was saying. brought it all flooding back.
Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garrett or the maid, I'll have you know. Man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's because he's so used to being hit all the time.
It was about 2 days ago now. I just got back home after work like. Put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day. I nearly died. There's a hole. Every last penny had dropped out.
Oh dear, what a disaster.
You haven't heard a half of it, boy.
Oh?
Wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. Oh, I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost a day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep.
No words, just terror.
I could smell it then, you know. A god-awful stench of the Thames. Oh, sure, I was going in and face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Oh, that's a real disaster, isn't it?
I'll never use the word lightly again.
Anyway, point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, stammers, you name it.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. Yeah, no, you don't throw books, you throw me. But no, I wasn't thinking that. Throwing household objects at people is, well, so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like.
What? Attack?
Who are you gonna attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. All right, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Woman or rides will hurl almost anything at you. Kitchen knife really brought that home to me.
Hold it!
Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you.
That's right. Just chopping meat with it. A tidy edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? Started with that smile she threw me when we were courting. Since then, it's the thing she's thrown at me has grown along with our relationship. There's a cup, a glass, a pot, a kettle, chair, wardrobe, cooker, bathtub.
Your wife must be even beefier than you.
And things came to a head last week when she threw me right into the Thames. Still, she's not so bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really.
I'm so happy for you.
You want to know what I think? I think this whole idea of ladies first is that we're so obsessed with in this country. Sort of by some clever lads who've been tossed in the Thames a few too many times by their wives.
That's a very interesting theory. What a terrible thought. On the face of it, this juror's statement just sounds like a really extreme anecdote. But I think it might turn out to be an extremely powerful weapon. A weapon I might be able to use to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation here. When our house fires are dire, you have to open the windows to clear the smoke. That's when the chill gets you, you see. All right, not going to press that because I don't want to sit through whatever Susato and Ryunosuke have to say about it. All right. Let's try this. Yeah, that.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection.
Good grief! You mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once.
Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative? Oh my, whatever do you mean? An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What you talking about?
We've demonstrated that the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, was found at the scene of the crime. Originated in Mr. Garrideb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garrideb household to the street below.
What's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garrideb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband.
Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What you insinuating now, you little beanpole? I am beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened.
Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As a foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it?
I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't even any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. All right, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garrideb household to the scene of the crime was it.
Take that!
Juror number 4, Mrs. Garrideb.
Oh, no!
I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Good Lord, Counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged into the victim's back, man.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of the point. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrideb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene.
You can't seriously believe that. The book was found in the victim's grasp.
Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand?
Huh. Even my missus hasn't got a name like that.
Yes, I admit. There are many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point. That's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end. Not right now. Oh my. Ah! Mrs. Garrideb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Thud.
Hey, Lord.
Oh, no, wait. I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word, after all. Thank you, madam.
Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it'd be right for this trial to come to an end with so many unanswered questions.
Mr. Foreman.
I'd have to agree. Not that I think the granny did it, mind.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents.
The old guy must not have heard any of that. We did it! Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue.
All right. Now what?
Now then, Lord Van Zieks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
This trial is rapidly descending into a farce.
Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant it's good for nothing save the gutter. Or if I may, Lord Van Zieks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened.
Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourself better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's this angle this time?
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Geradeb household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Geradeb's house to the scene is 15 yards.
Let me see, 15 yards? That's around 14 meters. 14 meters? That's a little farther than I'd imagined.
And, as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, this moldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend?
She wasn't collapsed yet because that's the first thing she threw.
Indeed, the jackknife followed a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back.
Okay, yes.
This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Ah!
Good thing Iris wasn't here to hear that. There's nothing I can say to that, though. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Mr. Zato!
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he? Maybe let's pick our battles here? My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Geradeb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Sakes alive! A cross-examination of a juror?
Well, yeah. She's now a suspect.
Order, order, order! Oh, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand. You should pick your jurors more carefully then!
Objection!
There it goes.
And unnecessary. Lord Van Zieks! There are are any witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume that they would be able to testify accordingly. What say you, witnesses?
Yes, sir. Constable Roller Beat reporting for duty, sir.
There's no damn way he saw anything. Well, good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rolly, my hero, you make me swoon.
Very well. I hereby reject the defense's request.
Oh.
And order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir. Witness testimony.
Constable Beast's report.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrett house are top-inch casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure none was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
You were lying face down in the snow when she came back. Well, this is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy.
You cannot excuse your scenes with drowsiness every time, Constable.
No, sir.
Sorry, but what exactly is a top-hinged casement window? And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend.
Of course, sorry. I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's room. All right, I'll try. The window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house.
Oh.
But as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see. Damn it.
I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature. Its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount.
It prevents it opening? And this is all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife were to have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below.
No. You see the problem, then. Good. Your education in windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road.
Well, damn.
That at ease unless the window pane had been shattered. Something we've discounted already.
That can't be! Did you see that, Rolly? A young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh, yes, my darling. I saw it. I saw it. He crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly, you're so strong. How's this happening?
I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed. Consul, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination.
My lord. Oh, good. Another desperate situation. And here I was afraid everything would be too easy. Cross-examination, start. This guy says nothing doing, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word.
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain? Very good question, sir. And the answer is this. There's a noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember. It's this warrant card. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. That's what the job is all about. And that is why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly, sir. Oh, Rolly, you're so manly. Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. No, none of this is what I meant.
I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett?
I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir.
Yes, well, so could you answer the question?
That was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I will answer it to the fullest of my abilities, sir. That's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing.
Yes?
I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So, I hope you'll take back some tales of us London Bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears.
Oh, I bet. Thank you. I'll try.
All right. Small folding wallet and bum. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrett house are top-hinged casements.
Hold it!
By which you mean they don't open fully. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see. So they're restricted as to how much they can open.
And therefore, anything thrown up the window from the inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Here's the location where objects would have fallen.
Okay.
Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road.
Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top-hinge casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what would that be, sir? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garredipp's house is furnished with? Oh, well, sir, that's very simple. You'll see, I helped with the investigation yesterday. What?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, Mrs. Speed? Sorry? You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. We really were so lucky. Lucky? What do you mean? Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's feet. It was so close, you see. Ow, I hadn't realized. Oh yes, that's Street Briar Road. That's the boundary between Rolly's feet and the next one. Isn't that right, my love? My lab! Constable Bate! Eh? Oh, yes, that's right. Was he faking that time? Pastor Reese and I was helping with the interviewing the occupants of the Garredipp household yesterday. The house is on my beat, you see, sir. That really was cutting it close then. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garredipp household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Outside Mr. Garredipp's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat. Oh, dear. I smell a cover-up. I see. I was unaware of that. Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. Oh, man. Really? But that's the life of a Bobby, after all.
Extraordinary people are bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
Overworked? You know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure that we have that information officially on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. All right. And now it's my turn, I think. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it.
Hold it!
But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark. Oh, but Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for a lucky star through the fog. Sorry? The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Can it guide you to the answer to the question? If a flaming book had crawled across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star. And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rolly be an inspector, I would have said. 3 times at least. Of course, what with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars. No.
In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir. That is correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir. Sir. Whatever. Certainly seems like they're telling the truth. To a point. And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
Hold it!
Yes, you said you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer. Is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat. So Rolly told me to wait, only I sort of got a little lost in the way. Oh. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me.
Wait, what?
Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Oh, please.
So, I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. Like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time making sure nothing was disturbed. I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Hold it!
Nothing to report. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time, never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene, and none was removed from it. I can swear that on the odds on it, sir.
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me, sir.
This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadeb household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time?
Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? Or one that just happened to be burnt as well? Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand?
As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder.
Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Yeah, it's Officer Rolly Beat, who's about to be unemployed.
Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. What? I wasn't really,
What's she doing?
Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable.
You're not the one I'm doubting.
You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman on my word, I am.
I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you.
No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you?
Yes, Mr. Beat. Yes, Mrs. Beat, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter.
I heard that. The Japanese man thinks I'm a policeman. The Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't.
Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue.
What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? I know what I saw. My lies never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, so.
Hold it!
Mrs. Beat, nobody is questioning what you've told us.
I saw what I did that evening, and I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny cut back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books and knives flying through the sky.
All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction.
Oh, Oh, yeah, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross. Hello?
Excuse me.
Constable Beat, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir, yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all. You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. But she was going a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. Thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was gone so long was because of the bouquet, silly. The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his round. Yes, how romantic. I've forgotten all about it till just now. Had you, my darling? Ah! Oh, yeah. Oh, but that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while.
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in the back, I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice it first. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on? Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funniest thing was when I went to pick it up. It was nowhere near the victim's body at all. Really? In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered before a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road. Yep, there it is. Your husband, presumably? That's right. Telling me I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although, I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think how it got there. I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite. Curious indeed. Isn't it? Well, the worst of it is I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me, with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. A bouquet. Do you perhaps mean this? Sorry, solitary rose. Wrapped in newspaper. Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary. Well, best of change he found in the gutter. Maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Lord Van Zieks, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household. There it is. In front of the Garadeb's house.
although it wasn't noticed until the morning as he lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Could I have it back now, please?
No, I think for good measure this ruse should be added to the court record as evidence.
Oh. Oh, dear. Rolly moved the body while she was gone, so they wouldn't have to skip their anniversary dinner. Well, it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. You hear me? I want it back.
Good grief! Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beat.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Hold it!
Nothing to report? That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time, never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the odds honor, sir. Wait a minute. I've already pressed this. All right, well, oh, I can't present it. Can't present it. Really, that seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir. Seems altogether regular to me, sir. Yeah, all right, let's skip ahead. See if I can get my way back to presenting that flower. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you make of all this? Yes, the whole idea of an invisible attacker has been troubling me all along. But I believe I'm starting to get a picture of what really happened here now. The fourth book that had no business being at the scene of the crime made me sure that Mrs. Garrett was hiding something from us. But it's becoming increasingly clear that someone else has been hiding something from us as well. I think I may already be armed with everything I need to strike a decisive blow here. This time is going to expose the whole truth about this mysterious affair. Yeah. There it is.
Objection!
You claim, Constable Beat, that there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be. What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection!
It's on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that mega bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs.
Meager!
Objection!
But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way round.
What are you talking about?
Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garredeb's book. Mr. Garrideb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Speed's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. There's no logical explanation for those things unless somebody deliberately moved them. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong. Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says. We're doing all about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking is what it is. Oh, good. Mrs. Garrideb's come around. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garrideb. But deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it. For a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection!
Tampering. You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend, who could possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception?
Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and all the testimony points to that one particular person.
Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime?
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you.
What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard?
What nonsense! Why would my Rolly do something like that? For you. There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it.
Objection!
If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well.
Objection!
First, you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. But there is only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something.
That's right, he's right. Well, my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense.
You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering. And until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats.
Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Naruhodo, have you managed to solve this mystery? I'm afraid so.
Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering.
Yes, my lord. Constable Beats' motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide where the victim fell. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean when she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road. We saw it happen, remember? It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know. That's certainly what everyone has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What?
I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know my Nipponese friend. Well, you are proposing that the crime actually took place that evening.
Right there.
Take that!
But that's on the opposite side of the road.
I don't understand. On the evening in question, Mr. Garadeb's book fell directly down from the open window above. And your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself.
Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place.
That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was the typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in this print, the victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road.
Extraordinary.
But the constable overlooked one thing. What did he overlook?
A bouquet, I presume.
Exactly. The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Zieks said it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light.
Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously.
Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Rowley Beat. Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rowley. It isn't true, is it? What that lawyer says so lies, isn't it? I know it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream. A terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything. Come out. Everything. Exposed. Oh, he's talking in his sleep? Only, it seems... It wasn't a dream at all.
Good golly! Order! 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 What on earth is the meaning of all this?
Oh, Raleigh, why? Why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one, too.
Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London Town.
Oh, I can't say, sir.
What?
I really am ever so sorry about all this. But damaging the Yard's reputation for everything. I have a possible explanation for why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason.
What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet, Lord Van Zieks, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matters thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence.
At once, my lord. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions.
What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions?
Take that!
I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I have only just arrived from Japan. Which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example.
Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly.
But for Constable Rolly Beat, the day in question was special.
Special? How?
On account of this bouquet, my lord. Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal.
When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the man's mind?
But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show her, my dear wife, how much I care. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives.
Aha!
Constable Beat, is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yes. Everything you said, it's all right.
So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat.
Oh.
Exactly.
To summarize, The incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat.
Good gracious! Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done?
It was the first time since I became a copper. I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. Got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was laying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Why here? Why did this happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why? It's a cop's job to guard the scene of a crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then, when I opened my mouth to speak. It just came out. Couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So you have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street and then... Yeah, you and me both, Susato. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. Oh, I just wanted, just that one night, to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night.
You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction. Just across the street, to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care.
Well, see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement.
Oh, I see your meaning now.
Well, God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly.
And can you tell us, Constable? How many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total?
4 it was. Yes, sir. Definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Nasime, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garrett household, of course.
But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean.
Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it.
Oh, you found it? What do you mean?
When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in the hand.
You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding?
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir.
Interesting.
Okay.
Weird.
I told her it was an open and shut case at the time. Oh,
I got it. The book fell down in front of her. She bent down to pick it up. Then the knife fell down into her back. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only the two people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw what happened. However, which way you look at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see the arm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zieks.
I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw.
Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir. What will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him?
For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course.
Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pep. Let's go home. I'm tired. All right then, my love.
One last thing, Constable.
Sir!
Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you.
Yes, sir.
Carve that lesson in your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime.
Never again, sir? You mean to say...
Leave, now. This trial is not yet over.
Sir! Oh my God.
Van Zieks has a heart after all. Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here, principally. That the accused, Mr. Saseki Natsumi, is the only person who could possibly have committed these crimes.
Objection! Oh my God. Still... No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already.
Lord Van Zieks, is this true? Very well. Name the person if you will. And if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who could have perpetrated the crime.
Take that! The defense would once again like to request a cross-examination of a new witness, my lord.
Once again?
My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadeb. Me? Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
That request has already been denied.
Objection! But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road. But what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top hinge casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on, as you yourself stated. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Gerdeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before? I don't recall it. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there in all that regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4. Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out.
But that's just a common unguarded knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? Yeah, what's that?
Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Mrs. Gerdeb?
Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Yeah, I couldn't bear it. Really? Oh, the poor woman. So yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now, shut up. Do your worst. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? If I had evidence like that, believe me, I'd have thrown it at her already.
Then take the stand, juror. The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman.
Thank you, Lord Van Zieks. I'm going to have to testify.
Juror number 4. As I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware.
Don't dear me.
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Gerdeb. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord.
That's what I'm hoping for, my lord. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. All right, we will do this testimony in the next episode. To the outro! Well then, I expected that little bombshell to have a much sadder outcome than it did. But it would seem that Van Zieks is not without mercy. As for what it means for our case, well, I've already said. Garrett throws the book out the window. The victim bends over to pick it up. Then Joan, the jackknife enthusiast, throws a massive open knife at her husband, which bounces off the window and lands point down in the poor woman's back. Hell, the Garrett probably didn't even notice. So yeah, the actual stabbing was an accident, but it was still the result of an assault with a deadly weapon. Still wish my theory about Mr. Garrett offing his wife, then replacing her with the old scrubber we just put on the witness stand had been correct though. More satisfying than an accident. So it may be a bad person. Anywho, up here's a playlist of my Persona 5 Royal playthrough, and down here's a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!